Alright, I am back, and you might notice something odd, like the fact that it says Twisted Fusion has won a game. Now, when I was going over the bracket earlier, I noticed something strange, like the fact that this was a 3-game series. And I was like, that's interesting, because I only have 2 match IDs written down for it. And quickly I realized, oh, you seem to have screwed up yet again this cycle. I don't know what it is, but maybe it was all those issues people had over the weekends, the first weekend of the cycle, and maybe that screwed things up. Maybe I'm just not paying attention. I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, Twisted Fusion did win Game 2. The game we just watched was Twisted Fusion won Game 1. The game we just watched was Game 2, and I will cast Game 1 at some point. I don't know when. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you're not going to know what's going on, because I will have casted Game 1, uploaded it, it will be there at the same time as the other 2 games, so you're like, what are you talking about? Of course you casted Game 1, it'll be there. Anyway, that'll happen when I get the replays, of course, as the Game 1 replay is not working, otherwise I'll be casting that. Anyway, as it is right now, the series is tied 1-1, so I apologize for the errors, and I was just figuring, like, hey, what the hell, I'll keep going, there's really no point in stopping or saying, oh, so this thing's what happened. Anyway, so I casted the whole of Game 2 like it was 0-0. As it turned out, no, in fact, Twisted Fusion was up Game 1, so even better performance Catman champions then, because they had their backs against the wall on 1 loss right there, and they were out of Cycle 4. So even better done to them under pressure, taking a victory, tying the series up 1-1, and we get a Game 3. So both teams on the hot seat right here. It's either win or go home. It is an elimination game for both of them, and we'll see how they respond to that. Twisted Fusion, I would say, responding much, much better than they did in Game 2, so perhaps that was the reason for their odd draft. They're like, hey, we can take a loss, let's do something weird. I don't think it's a great policy to enact in general in HoN Tour, and especially not in a loser's bracket, but I suppose it's a little bit more understandable when you're already up 1-0. Their first bans are Revenant and Silhouette. Hellborn taking out Swiftblade and Cthulhuphant, so again, no surprise. Hellborn do seem to consistently man those 2 heroes. Legion side will first pick Rhapsody into Kraken and Magnus, so I'm a much, much bigger fan of their lineup this time around than I was last time around. Lots of AoE presence with Kraken and Mag, obviously great gank potential, strong push with Rhapsody, and potentially somebody else, I would hope, as well as just generally powerful heroes. Hellborn second there with Bubbles, Puppet Master, and Ophelia, so similar story from them actually. Generally strong heroes, good gank potential, especially with Bubbles and PM. Ophelia also going to provide some of that, especially in the landing phase, and excellent push with the Oath minions. Also some late game, which the Legion side don't have too much at this point with the Puppet Master. So we'll see how both sides do, but at this point I do slightly favor the Twisted Fusion draft. I think that the Magnus and the Kraken, both really powerful heroes, and obviously Rhapsody, not obviously, but I do still think Rhapsody is the best hero and best support in the game. So with that said, bans are through as well. Empath, Pharaoh, and Glacius going to be the first 3 bans for the Legion side. Wretched Hag, Death Repulsor, and Torture the bans for the Hellborn side. So getting 1 support out of the way, as well as a couple of versatile heroes in Dr. Repulsor and Wretched Hag, heroes that are difficult to pin down and kill. So feeling like they don't want to deal with that, which is kind of interesting because they do have a pretty heavy CC rotation on this team. Ophelia minions going to be able to lock people down. Puppet Master with pretty nice CC, especially for a single target, and Bubbles, of course, Kelp Field plus the silence means that it's difficult to get away from him. So I don't know if they would have had that many struggles against those 3 heroes, but definitely ones to be wary of in general. As far as the Legion bans go, a little more targeted on the supports, as they're looking for just the 1. So Empath and Glacius no longer going to be available for them, and Pharaoh has the suicide option. Interesting. I guess perhaps they just didn't want to deal with it. It really only, I feel like, is a problem against the Magnus. I'd love to see, I mean, if you're Kraken, you'd love to see it for any other team, but because, hey, Mummy Walls, oh, here's a release to Kraken. Enjoy that. But I guess don't want to play against it. Don't know what the thing is, but don't feel like they can use it. Don't want to deal with it. It's fine. Whatever. Fourth pick, excuse me, here for the Legion side is going to be Balfagor, and Hellborn going to counter with Master of Arms. So I would say Legion side absolutely getting the better of that exchange. Not only do Twisted Fusion play perhaps the only consistent Balfagor in HoN Tour right now, and Slot Please really enjoys playing that hero, and he actually likes playing it in the suicide role a lot too. So we'll see if he does that, or if he does Jungle Balf, which is pretty well considered to be viable at this point, and wouldn't be surprised if either of those things happen. If they don't do that, I would like to see a Tempest here, as he's somehow still on the board, and it would give them absolutely ludicrous push and team fight. It would basically be a situation where they could group as 5 at the 7 to 10 minute mark, and start killing every single tower in the game. And there's nothing that the Hellborn can do about that. Tempest would easily be cancelled by bubbles with the Kelp field, but really that's not that big a deal. And nope, again, your Forsaken Archer, which is fine. Not a hero we see very often, and I'm not a huge fan of her because I feel like okay, well the little undead minion guys do a crap ton of damage if you don't kill them, but they all take one shot to lose, and they give a little bit of bounty, so getting rid of them is really, really damn easy. They also have such a short timer that keeping them up is difficult. So if you can use them effectively, they do a lot, but they're not easy to do. And as far as the crippling volley goes, very hard to really land, I guess, unless you're super good with it. And her ultimate also doesn't do all that much damage because it's really easy to walk out of. So split shot can do effective damage as you get late game. Obviously that'll help, but I feel like she lacks a little bit of lockdown, and the Legion side does in general. Kraken going to help with the ulti and the charge, Magnus with the lava surge, Rhapsody but only has the single target staccato, Balfagor pretty much just his regurgitate and his Hell on North, neither of which are especially effective at stunning people. But Kronos going to be the last pick for the Hellborn side, and if this were CIC, you'd be saying the Hellborn basically won the game with Ophelia, Kronos, Bubbles, and Puppet Master. At this point, both of Puppet Master and Kronos considered much less powerful heroes, and for good reason. Kronos, I still feel like, though, is dropped off the scene too much. Still a strong hero, still can do a lot, and people don't respect it enough, I would say. So we'll see if that proves true in this game as well, or not as well, in this game in general, or if he sucks and I look like an idiot. So please don't make me look like an idiot. Time to Die. I will note that it's awesome that Time to Die is playing Kronos, because that is one of the unit acknowledgements from the regular alt avatar, I think. Just the not even alt avatar, just the regular Kronos avatar. And you know, he's a really good Suicide player as well, and he actually plays a really good Kronos. So looking for big things from him. As far as Legion goes, I guess this gotta be a Jungle Belf, right? I mean, they picked the Forsaken Archer last. It's gotta be a Jungle Belf, which likely means we're looking at a Suicide Magnus, because usually Salim is usually their Suicide player. Saxy Scowl will be in mid, and Let Us Hope can be in the bottom. We'll see where All-Star Mac heads. I think it should be bottom. There's really no reason to dual lane Kraken and Rhapsody mid, but Kraken actually headed to the top, and I don't know if that's a role decision or if Saxy Scowl is just their Kraken player. I know Salim plays a lot of Magnus. Anyway, yes, I am talking over the replay. Casting it, I guess it's a better way to put it, but anyway, I'm going to skip straight through the pause there, and Kraken does get a Word of Sight at the top, so that'll help. Obviously going to be a lot harder to gank him there. Puppet Master sort of trying to back him off a little bit, and Marcus Moy looking for some free farm here. Shouldn't be that hard. Kraken, not the greatest laner against dual lane, and we will have Master of Arms here. I do have to note, I hate Master of Arms in a support role, okay, sorry, I messed that up. I hate Master of Arms in general, or I guess I don't like him as I don't really hate him, I guess. I like him better as a support than a carry. I still don't like him. So, they're going to have to overcome some stuff, but they got a Kronos, so I like to see Kronos, and I like that better. In general, hard to pick a favorite. Legion side's lineup, very teamfight oriented, strong push, and going to be difficult to deal with if they start to snowball, I should say. Although it may be hard or impossible to stop them from snowballing. Sorry, my cat has decided that she wants. Yes, Moa is a garbage carry. It doesn't the hero does nothing with farm. Middle lane though, actually might be some trouble here for Bubbles. Trying to get away, gets a Shell Surf off, gonna port to it, should be just fine. And we'll see how Zephranthe does in the middle lane. But in fact, it will be a dual lane reported for that. All right. It will be dual lane Magnus and Rhapsody in the middle, which I like a lot more than dual lane Kraken and Rhapsody. Instead, it's going to be Kraken and Moa top. Again, Moa just not great at zoning people, though, so Kraken should be able to do more, I feel like, in this lane. In terms of regen, he's sitting on 5 tangos and a pooled health pot, so, like, just go hit him in the face. Moa's got 2 tangos, and Puppet Master doesn't really want anything to do with this. So I feel like Saxy Scowls could be a little bit more aggressive in this lane than he currently is. Meantime, Rune will be spawning here at his top. Regen going to be picked up presumably by this Rhapsody. And we'll see. She does not have a bottle, so and it'll just be some free mana and health for her. Middle lane Bubbles continuing to try to do stuff, but there goes the Bloodlust in the top lane. And for some reason, that's why. Here comes the Ophelia, so nice Puppeteer's hold there, and Kraken can do nothing. And then he dies. So, alright. Yes, my kitty likes the scritches. Yes, she does. Scritching her face, and she likes that. Do you like that? Of course she likes that. I don't have a co-caster, so my cat's like, "Are you lonely and sad? You're just sitting here talking to yourself. It's very weird." All my friends are inside the magic box, kitty. They talk to me. I hear their voices. Middle Bubbles taking a health pot, and we'll see if he gets jumped on once again. Getting kind of close, actually. He might take a... Might take a Lava Surge there, but doesn't... It is funny that, yes, Catman is on the Hellborn side, and I have a cat. I think I know who she's rooting for. Are you rooting for the Catman champions? Yes. Yes, she is. Anyway, bottom lane Forsaken Archer down here at 224 gold per minute. Time to die at 200 GPM. Middle lane, actually, it's going to be the death on Zephranthe. As he takes the initiation, I am assuming, from Magmus. Yep, there it is. Lava Surge goes in. Staccatos will follow, but Bubbles actually already used a take cover, so a little bit too early there on a take cover. Need to get the Shell Surf out first, and probably would have lived, actually, if he had just done that. Instead... Instead, it's going to be a kill, and yeah, she's done with us now. Anyway, back to casting 1-to-1. In terms of hero kills, Hellborn side do have a slight advantage in both gold and experience. Below kill obviously helping a lot with that a little bit. And the fact that Ophelia got it means that she's at 300 gold per minute. And that makes her the second highest farmer on her team and the third highest farmer in the game. As Magmus is having a solid time in middle with a dual lane, but other than that, it's not going great. Now, FA is getting a little bit further up there with 250 GPM, but yeah, this Chronos is starting to put some serious pressure, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts to crush this lane. Actually, Forsaken Archer will get a volley on top of him, and he needs to be careful. Has a health pot, will take it right here, and a bottle. Actually, wouldn't be surprised if he uses both. In fact, he does. Health pot picked up by Forsaken Archer, so she won't be able to do too much. Or Chronos, sorry, won't be able to do too much in terms of trying to kill her now. Presumably that was to force out some health and then bottle up, get the health pot going so that when he hits level 6 he can kill the FA, but at this point it's probably not going to happen. Anyway, middle lane, Bubbles could be in some trouble as well. Gets stunned out, is still able to port to his Shell Surf, so trying to put some aggression, not going to happen. Lava Surge available, needs to take cover this, does not do so, and he's dead. Obviously that's a really, really hard one to take cover. The autocast does not work. You just right-click here, take cover, and so timing the 0.1 seconds of invulnerability. Difficult, to say the least. Yeah, why don't you hit more? Anyway, Kraken gets his first CS. No, I'm not kidding. That was his first CS. So he's been completely destroying this top lane in a way that I don't understand. Like, Master of Arms isn't really a very good boxing support, but he's level 3. Kraken's also level 3. Now you gotta consider this is a dual lane, so Master of Arms should not be the same level as Kraken, and also, of course, Kraken takes less experience loss from denies. This makes no sense to me. And Master looks like he's gonna put up a ward here. Yep, so common ward spot here. We'll spot out the Kraken, and obviously being placed from fog means they don't know there is a ward there. Wouldn't be surprised if they choose to go and try to kill this Kraken yet again relatively soon. Master Rum's definitely positioning himself to do that. Middle lane, meanwhile, looks like Bubble's going to be in some trouble as Rhapsody works her way around the back. Lava Surge in, Staccatos are there on top of the Eruption, and nothing that Bubbles can do. Actually, yeah, almost lives, but Rhapsody.
That felt good, didn't it?
I mean, I know he died because we just saw it, but still, he almost lived. It was close. It was a nice attempt. Anyway, Opponent Master in the top lane, pushing out pretty effectively, 415 GPM. In the bottom lane, Invis Balfagor, so we've seen the jungle Balf do relatively little, 186 gold per minute. He really hasn't had a great time. And instead, it's basically been the middle lane, I feel like, carrying them on the Legion side. 364 GPM on the Magmas, 270 is their second highest farmer, and after that, everybody's below 200 gold per minute. So the laning phase, not going great for Twisted Fusion, and considering they're on the verge of elimination here, I think they would imagine things should go a little bit better. Somehow they have a gold lead. I don't know how. Maybe because Bubbles is getting wrecked. Anyway, Kronos. Real dead. Real dead. So I feel, I'm saying like, oh yeah, Hellborn are doing so badly, Legion, or the Legion side is doing so badly, they're not doing anything. You look at Hellborn, they're having an even worse time. I mean, 415 GPM on the Puppet is nice, but Ophelia has since dropped right back down after getting that Bloodlust to 240 gold per minute, which is where we usually see her when she just farms and doesn't gank without kills. So with a kill, she should be much higher than this, I feel like, and she'll get to 300 as they take a tier 1 tower in the top. They also take a tier 1 tower on the bottom Legion side, so tower trade means that the Hellborn or the Legion are still up by 1 tower. And the Suicide Kronos was doing well. He was keeping up with the Forsaken Archer, and now Forsaken Archer nearly double his GPM. Suffice to say, that's not great, and that's not the turn events that you're looking for. So we'll see what they can do about that. But they are still shutting down this Kraken. He is the third lowest farm in the game, and he does not look like he's going to have too much of an impact at any point in this game, unless they give him a free farm lane and just let him go ham for a few minutes. And by a few minutes, I mean like 10 minutes. Or if they get a bunch of kills, like by using Magmas to gank, which may or may not be happening. But again, Word of Sight, very well placed, spots the rotation incredibly easily. Bottom lane with the tier 1 tower down, is now a slightly easier farm lane for Kronos, so they'll probably get pushed back a little bit more effectively. Middle lane, Magmas realizing it's not doing much to just sit there in the top. I'd rather go middle, continue my farm, work towards my portal key, have 1200 gold saved up, which means that assuming he does not go any more build up, he should have his PK by the 10 to 11 minute mark. And with some free farm, obviously that could be very, very valuable. Basically, if they shut down his Puppet Master, at this point, the Hellborn have nothing. I mean, that's really their only hero that's farming particularly well. Ophelia's, I guess, back up to 280 gold per minute, but she's just not going to be that impactful, even with that amount of farm. I don't know how good Linko 6 is at Ophelia. I've seen him play her a fair bit before, but not a ton, and certainly not enough to be like, oh yeah, great Ophelia player. Not to say that he's bad, just that not particularly memorable. Then again, it's not like I've watched these teams a million times either. I've seen him play a fair bit. He used to be in some other team that wasn't this one. Maybe it was Don't Care. Yeah, it must have been Don't Care because he's tagged up with Don't Care. Yes, 3 players here tagged up with Don't Care. 1 person with the Catman Champions tag, but the wrong one. As that's CACH is the old Catman Champions. The new one is Cat, which is weird. It's confusing. Anyway, 41 hero gold advantage here for Legion side, and they're sitting about a 1.5k golden experience lead as well. Bottom lane, they want to come kill this Forsaken Archer. They're going to need a setup from the Chrono Field to do it. And Word of Sight in the lane means that FA is like, nope, I ain't having it. And that'll be the cue for Ophelia and Master Rums to back off. Ophelia is still level 6. At 10 minutes in, she's level 6. She needs to be a lot higher than level 6. And it's too bad because this is a really missed opportunity. Slot Plea is at 200 gold per minute. It's nice that he's opening up the lanes and, you know, jungling, but This isn't going well. Like, he's even got an assist, and he's got 207 gold per minute. Don't know why you do this. I mean, Tempest is on the board. Just pick Tempest. Like, come on. Works so well with your lineup. It's more pushing potential, and that allows you to lane the Balfagor. You could even suicide him. I know you like to do that. I mean, by Tempest I mean pick Tempest opposed instead of something else. I mean, you could pick Tempest instead of Balf, but whatever. You could pick it instead of FA. You could pick it. What I mean, it would add so much lockdown to a team that doesn't have so much of it, and has plenty of damage. So that's not like they need Balfagor's damage output, or Krakens, or Magnuses, or even Forsaken Archers. There is a lot between, no matter what combination of heroes you go, so I really would prefer the Tempest pick here. Obviously, things are working out fairly well for them anyway, so hard to criticize too much. And again, you know, you can get away with draft mistakes and issues like this in Gold. You can especially get away with it in the early tiers of Gold. You can't really get away with it even in the higher tiers of Gold, and you definitely can't get away with it in Diamond. Like, you have to have a lineup that synergizes perfectly, or you have to be much, much better than your opponents, which isn't the case in most matchups, even in Diamond Division. Even in the earlier rounds of Diamond Division, so. Looks like the push is going to start to come through on the Legion side. The top tower, perhaps the next one on the menu. We have all 5 heroes grouped up here in this top lane, Rhapsody obviously, and Balfagor are the main ones when it comes to the pushing potential. Now his little cookie minions are going to die. I have not mentioned yet, I should say, not yes. One of them letters, RST. So they're right next to each other in mouth, but it's difficult to remember which one's which. Anyway, top tier 1 tower, real dead.
The Legion have destroyed
And we haven't seen Slot Please die yet. I want him to die a whole lot. Not because I have any problem with him, or because I want Twisted Fusion to lose, just because this Balfagor alt avatar's death is hilarious and it makes me laugh. Also, the cookie minions are pretty fantastic. This is one of the better alt avatars in the game, in my opinion. I bought it. And I played Balfagor like once, and I bought it. I'm like, gotta have the alt. Gotta have the hilarious cookie Balf alt. He gets really angry about whipping and stirring. But yeah, I'm going to kill some Ancients. Has to use a Whispering Hell to take over Ultra Lord, so that'll help him stack, of course. And probably should be looking to increase his GPM much faster than he has. He is the top farmer in the game, by a fair margin, in fact, but at 13.5 minutes in, with a Whispering Helm, you'd sort of expect a little bit more than 430 gold per minute. I would imagine that considering the lane he had, they got a kill on Kraken early on. He had basically complete lane dominance with the tower as well. Should be something like 500 plus. So I don't know if Marcus Moy has just missed some CS or what. He's at 104 creep kills in 14 minutes, which again is good. And I'm certainly in no position to criticize based on my own skills. But it does feel like they could possibly have been a little bit more effective than they currently are. It is a Whispering Helm creep, right? Yes. I forget, because they have Ophelia on their team too, so it's potentially not. Yes, he vomits everywhere and then says too many cookies. I mean, how do you not love that? Come on. Impossible. I'm not jealous of you, Ophelia, don't worry. Definitely not. She will have the triple Skeleton King Harmony. Actually going to kill one. We'll take over Minotaur. So getting a little closer to that single Skeleton King double Minotaur beautiful combo. One of the greatest moments of my HoN playing career is when I killed a Thunderbringer because I had the single Skeleton King double Minotaur and I comboed everything perfectly. It's like, you gonna die, buddy. And he did. That's the kind of thing that counts as, like, notable for me, is when I pull one of those combos off. The point being, once again, that I'm not actually very good at this game. But it's fine. It's fine. And this is the point in the cast where I start to lose focus, concentration, and ability to do this effectively because I have now been talking to myself for about 45 minutes. And my throat's going to start closing up. Well, not closing up, but like hurting and stuff and be all weird. Weird thing is my nose like gets this funny feeling, but anyway, Legion's going to group up here in middle lane as well. Looks like they're going to try to push. Hellborn team. Oh, alright, I get it. Master of Arms is here for the anti-push. It took me 16 minutes to understand that. Yeah, I guess they really haven't been pushing, so that's still the case, but that's going to be effective anti-push. I mean, the dance floor is not even going to counteract it, and it's going to be a lot harder for those Legion side to take towers. Looks like Balfagor going to get opened up on, has the Puppeteers hold there. We'll see if they have sufficient lockdown. Here comes the Eruption in from Magnus. He's got the portal key as well, but he's not going to get... What the hell was that? Besides completely horrible. There you go, crippling volley, but actually a two-man Keltfield. Release the Kraken not doing too much in the background. Perhaps the ultimate not quite enough. Will be stopped by the Chrono Field, but Balfagor somehow still alive. Voodoo Puppet's going to get the kill onto Kraken. That's the first kill of this team fight. All sorts of ultimates being used, and still only the first kill. Forsaken Archer also going to fall, so looks like Raimate on that Master of Arms will pick up a double tap. And outside, actually, Kronos will catch out this Rhapsody, looking to stop him. We'll see if they can get another stun. Can they? No! Wow, that was surprising. I would imagine that'd be pretty easy to stop that teleport, but instead, Rhapsody's like, I gone, bitches! And indeed, she gone. Anyway, nice three-man Lava Surge there from Magnus. We'll slow this down a little bit. Now he's going to Steam Bath next to everything. Should be fine at this point. Pretty solid juke as he runs to the left instead of down, where Kronos was expecting it. But we see the counter push from Hellborn's side, and we see it not be all that effective. Ophelia doesn't have any minions right now. I guess they were all killed by something. Is that what Magnus used the Eruption on? Maybe. In any case, you probably shouldn't do that, Magnus. Yes, Ophelia creeps are annoying, but it's better to kill the heroes. Ophelia will get one Skeleton King back here, and we'll see what else she can pick up. This side Vulture Lord will be fine, so likely be 2 creeps for her. And looking to stack these camps as well. So, I'm going to get a couple of solid stacks off here. Looking for some better creeps. Second Skeleton King. That'll definitely be on her menu. And perhaps going to look for the Vulture Lord. Yep, that's going to be their triple. And that's a good thing too, because she didn't really get too much luck out of that other camp. And Vulture Lord, double Skeleton King, not a bad combination anyway. Plenty of damage and some solid push potential. Gonna take the slow from the Pustula for pretty much no reason. As Puppet Master again looking to pick his farm up, 420 GPM, so even after that nice solid engagement there, he's just not farming. Like, I don't know why. He should be easily 500 plus GPM right now. Instead he's at 436. He should be knocking on the door of 600, to be honest, I feel like. 0-0-3, which isn't the greatest, but he's got some kill involvement. They've got a tower down at the top, that helped. And he should, it just feels like he should have a way more farm. Anyway, you see this Vulture Lord not stacking the camp. Like, why gonna do that if you're not gonna stack? Anyway, 2-man Chrono Field here. We'll see if they can lock down this Rhapsody before she can do anything. Keltfield there gonna help kill her. Nice 3-man Lava Surge in the background, and the Hell on Newerth coming out. Here comes Newerth's Blessing, and the Kraken ultimate to catch a couple of heroes. Looks like Master Run will be in a lot of trouble. He's gonna die, so it's support for support at this point. But there goes Salim on the Magnus, as well as Balfagor in the background. My funeral, thank you. And we'll see if Kraken can survive this. Looks like he probably won't. There's the Bash and the Voodoo Puppet. Easy cleanup, and Catman champions. Looking dangerous. They're up 7-5 in hero kills. They'll finally be able to take this mid-tier 1 tower. And Marcus Moy is going to start to snowball, I would hope. He's still below 450 GPM. Now he's at 470 with the tier 1 tower kill. And again, we're approaching... So this should be a double stack right now. And this, once again, is not going to be stacked. Oh, there we go. He saw it. Good on you, buddy. Anyway, we'll see if they can catch this Ophelia out. Is he going to be in trouble? Yeah, probably. Crippling Volley not going to connect. They're going to need something else. Creep's not helping him too much. Actually, he will be okay. Mirza goes Magnus Lava Surge once again. Will he be okay? I keep saying that. There's the defensive ulti from Master of Arms. Nope, now he's dead. So Link getting a little bit aggressive, farming in the Legion Woods, and pays for that with his life. Looks like his Oath Creep going to die as well. And Legion side might look to turn that into a push with no Ophelia. And obviously he does have a buyback, but probably not really worth using at this point. Instead, Mr. Balthagor's delicious creations will help push this mid tier 2 tower.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn
And
tower.
are they going to keep going? There goes the counter push from Bubbles and Master of Arms, so gonna be hard. Balthagor taking a whole bunch of damage, gonna respawn the minions. And there goes the Delicious Creations, as he's not microing very effectively. But Master of Arms will pick up actually a couple of creeps, and that'll be the end of that. They do get some damage in the tier 3 though, so despite the fact that they have solid counter push with the Bubbles Shell Surf and the Master of Arms Goo, they still do get some stuff out of it. Yes. Well, Puppet Master is trying to use this as a stack, to be fair. It's not going all that well. Anyway, they're going to catch out Lingo 6 once again. As a reward here, probably helping see that. Assassin Shroud is up on PM as well. And apparently they feel like killing this Ophelia is their key to pushing. This time, he does not have a buyback. They're going to wait for the goo to wear off and then go through. Let's see, there is no Astrolabe on this Legion side, which again is very surprising. You would think that with this aggressive pushing team, somebody would get an Astrolabe, like, you know, Balthagor. Instead, nobody's got one. And Master Arm's gonna lay down the goo once again, and they're trying to do something about this. Nice whiplash there from Puppet Master. Kills all of the creeps, and they realize pretty quickly on this Legion side that pushing is not super effective for them. I was going to help field forward. Kronos we'll see too, and there's the 2-man Chrono Field. We'll see if Rhapsody can do anything about this. In fact, she will get the Stagatos, but it's not going to be enough. Puppet going to go on to Slot, please. He will be the only one to die, actually. At my funeral. I love it. I love it. That's so fantastic. More people should have cookies at their funeral. I want my friends to have cookies at my funeral. They're so good. I'll get some cookies, man. I want cookies. Anyway, Kongor getting real dead real quick, and it looks like Puppet will be able to pick up a token off of this.
Kongor has been slain.
Anyway, triple stack danger is going to be taken out, and Puppet Master going to continue to increase his farm now. Just going to hit 5. I keep bringing this up, but I don't know why Marcus Moy does not have more farm. It's like he can't hit 500 gold per minute, even as he kills each creep. Like he's dropping below 500 GP enemies. He hit it 503 gold per minute. He did it. It's awesome. What a player. So 8-3 hero kill advantage, and I don't know. We'll see what they do with this, but definitely Twisted Fusion in a bit of a bind. I mean, they went for a pushing lineup, and it's not working. Master of Arms Bubbles are shutting this down, and like Puppet Master with the Whiplash is doing a lot more than I thought he would as well. Genjiro obviously helping out a little bit also, but I don't know, man. I don't know. With this Puppet Master, I'd feel a lot better about how this game is going if he was taking off. But again, it's just like it's really frustrating. Because I don't get it. I don't get why he's not doing better. He should be. He's got so much map control. He should be farming like a boss, and he's not. And it'd be one thing if he wasn't farming, but the rest of his team was. But 320 GPM on this Chronos, and 310 on the Ophelia, 205 on Bubbles. It's not like anybody else is absorbing farm. I mean, if I had my efficiency stat right in front of me, then it would be good. Like, or maybe it would be bad. Is what I'm. God damn. Again, this is why I can't speak English, but. I try to say one word, and I end up saying the other one. So anyway, but if the Hellborn side had more farm on other heroes, I'd feel a lot better about where they are, but it's just Puppet, really, with good farm. Everybody else is okay or worse, and I don't know, like, there's no real farm, it feels like, anywhere on any of these teams, but Hellborn side apparently feeling like they are able to counter-push the Legion, and this is going to turn into perhaps a 2-2 tower kill. The Legion don't really feel like they want to push, but as I keep saying, I keep hating on Marcus Moy for not having any farm, and you look at the Legion side, it's not like they've got any farm. I mean, 360 GPM is their highest after that 285, 265, and 186 on this Kraken. Like, nobody has anything. So this game is absolutely in the hands of Catman champions right now. And they have a pretty substantial lead here at 8k, or 9k gold really, and 10.5k experience. But I feel like they should be running away with it. And they're not. But, yeah. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I don't understand the lack of an Astrolabe on this Legion team. I really don't. It makes no sense to me. They wanted to go push. They got a Balfagor. Buy a damn Astrolabe on a Balfagor. Like, really. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And you look at, yeah, Shaman's Headdress completed. For what? The Puppet ulti, which does magic damage? But really, like, is that worth it? Is that what you want to stop? It's the vast majority of the damage from the Hellborn side is physical. We've got Kronos, we have the D-Armor from Rhapsody, from Rhapsody, oh, god damn it. D-Armor from Master of Arms, I just want to say Rhapsody because Rhapsody's a better hero, and I wish they weren't playing Master of Arms because that's a bad hero. But basically the only significant magic damage they have is from bubbles, and it's really not that significant, so anyway. I think it's 100k signatures for Obama to reply. Sorry, Twitch chat. Anyway, eruption going off in the background. They're going to catch a couple right here. Puppet Master going to be the focus, but again, he's got the token, so not going to be that effective. He's going to start dishing out damage. Voodoo Puppet goes down. We'll see if they can kill this Balfagor. It looks like no, they can't. He's eating a lot of damage, really, and coming back with some beautiful heals. So they get the token onto Puppet. They will still kill Zephranthe on the bubbles. It ends up being a trade for him and Balfagor. Finally, Salim going down on the Magmus as well. This is going to turn into a bot tower push, of course, Puppet with a shrunken head up, taking some tower damage, but in fact, in the end, he will be fine. And it looks like he's going to be able to clean up these creeps. No buybacks available on Balfagor or Magmus. That's going to be bot Rax, and this game even more in favor of the Catman champions. I would get really worried now if I were Twisted Fusion. This is not great.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
And I don't know, man. Like, again, this is a team that was in Diamond last cycle. They lost 0-2 to Teletubbies, who didn't win a game in Cycle 3 of Gold. They got a bye in the first round of the losers bracket. They won Game 1 here against Catman champions. Lost Game 2 because they ran a really kind of a stupid lineup with Rampage and Aluna, which are just bad heroes. And now they're in kind of a precarious position. I mean, it's not unrecoverable, and they've got a strong pushing lineup, so if they can win a team fight, they can start to wreck some towers. The problem is, getting rid of this Puppet Master is not going to be easy, and he's not playing stupid. Like, he's not, you know, getting ridiculous with his Assassin Shroud and trying to kill too many people at the same time. He's being patient, sitting back and farming, making sure he's got the right openings and the right opportunities before he engages, which is what he should be doing, because a lot of this Hellborn side's farm, again, rests in his hands. And a lot of the game's farm rests in his hands, but I do want to look at hero damage as well. It's surprising. Pretty high up there for Forsaken Archer. Anyway, speaking of Puppet Master taking the right engagements, looks like he wants to jump on top of this Kraken. His Invis is going to wear out in a second. Does he want anything? No. Instead, we'll just open the creep wave, and he should be just fine. Anyway, so yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like the Legion side is that far out of it. Mostly because Catman champions are sort of letting them hang around in this game. But with that bot clear on the racks, I'm kind of wondering if they have too much life left in this game, because this is really a push strat. Like, it's designed to try to take towers and racks relatively early, and as this game goes later, I don't think Forsaken's going to be able to compete with Puppet as a farmer. And speaking of that, Puppet obviously has both the Master of Arms and the Ophelia behind him, so it'll be real hard to kill him. with the Shrunken Head, the Assassin's Shroud, the Master's Call, and the Ophelia's Touch. I don't know. Savage Mace picked up on Puppet. Not a fan of that, but alright. I much prefer something like a Thunderclaw, but more of a farming-oriented item, so not that great. But there are a lot better items to get a Puppet Master. Wingbow, obviously, really, really good. Rift Shards is a little, in fact, better in terms of pure damage output, because, okay, you get the plus 100, but the crit is better. It's just, it's higher damage output. So, let's look at it, for example. Rift Shards grants plus 80 damage at level 4, and Savage Mace grants plus 80 damage. Sorry, I can't replay controls in there. 88 damage, so it's extra 8 damage there from the Savage Mace. Rift Shards is, what, 9.25 times 3 is 28.25, 25, and this is 25, so that's 54.50. So it's 50 extra gold and 8 less damage, but it's plus 100 chance versus like a plus 500 chance. So which one do you think is better? Yeah, Hellfire would work. It's not about the dodging too much either with the Wingbow. I think it's just about the extra range. That's going to be a lot better for him. He'll be further back. Less chance of getting caught in a Chrono ulti. Less chance of getting caught in general. Easier to siege towers when you can stand further back, even if you don't have... even with the lack of mischance. Obviously that doesn't affect the tier 2 towers here. And Wingbow will make him a little bit safer. And a lot of the times actually you can stand not even uphill. So I think that works. I'm not even entirely sure, so I shouldn't say that. But Wingbow better for pure damage output. At this point, he doesn't really need to evade. He basically just needs damage. He's not really in danger. He's got a Shrunken Head, he's got an Assassin's Shroud, he's got Ophelia, he's got a Master of Arms. He's not going to die. Pretty much ever, unless he just massively misplays. So it's not about the evasion factor from the Wingbow, it's mostly about the damage output. And I feel like the damage output from Wingbow is better. Damage output from Rift Shards is better. If you want something surprising, Symbol of Rage, man. You get caught, you pop a symbol in a Shrunken Head. Puppet also already does a lot of damage. Like you top the lane, they will get the jump onto Linko 6. Let's go back and watch that whole thing, because it's always more fun to see people die from full. Anyway, Volley is used a little bit aggressively, and apparently Ophelia feeling like that was a good idea to go in there. I don't know why. Anyway, they use a couple of ultimates on her, which is really excessive, but they do need hero kills pretty damn badly at this point. And I'm not really sure why Linko 6 thought he could kill the Forsaken Archer, but apparently he did. Speaking of him, he has an Astrolabe, Ring of Sorcery, and Barrier Idol. I do like the Barrier Idol in the Legion side, as they've got Eruption, they got Kraken Ultimate, they've got the Hell on New Earth from Balfagor, and they have the Forsaken Archer ulti. So Barrier Idol going to eat a lot of crap from the Legion team. And they do realize the combo is going on. There's a Word of Sight, so not a huge surprise. Looks like they're going to try to take this as well, and they definitely should. They do have 2 ultis down, but there's no Ophelia on the Hellborn team. And if they can get the jump here, it could be huge. No! Bubbles just barely able to portal key away before he gets jumped by the Lava Surge. So that's actually pretty huge. If they'd been able to catch Bubbles right there, the Legion actually might have been able to counter the Conqueror and do it themselves, which could have been a pretty significant swing, especially getting a token on that Forsaken or even the Magnus with the Kraken who jumped in there. But Balfagor's Delicious Creations will do some scouting. Meantime, Kronos has picked up a Staff of the Master. So I haven't talked about that at all, but it looks like he's going for a Null Stun on top of this. I don't know if he got the Sustainer thinking, I'll get Cleave, or what, but at this point that would probably be his best option for that item. Not the greatest option in general, they don't have that many targeted abilities. The Silence, the Staccato Stones, and the Torrent. Plus potentially the Hellflower from Magnus, as he's working on that. Bubbles is working on presumably a Push Book. Obviously they have Kraken and Legion side, so having Push Book is very, very helpful. Push Book already finished on Master of Arms, but again, multiple Push Books always nice. Legion side have picked up... Oh, Refresher, duh. Yes, sorry about that. Thank you. I felt like there was something I was missing with the Sustainer. But yes, it is Refresher. I'm just being stupid. It's fine. Anyway, Voodoo Puppet's going to go on to Magnus, and he's going to immediately destroy Truck and head up from Puppet Master, so he's basically taking no damage. And it looks like they will get the Master of Arms, but Kraken be next to fall here pretty easily. There goes the Kronos ulti. Will catch the Forsaken Archer, but Rhapsody going to stop all sorts of damage. In the background, HoN North goes down, and Ramate on the bubbles did buyback. They will be able to pick off All-Star Mac as well as potentially Forsaken Archer, who's trying to hold his ground. But again, Puppet Master has a Whispering Helm. Easy kills there, and they do also manage to pick up Cookie did his funeral. Balfagor here, so it's a genocide. Sorry, not even Ramate didn't buyback. I keep thinking he's the bubbles for some reason, but in fact it's Franthe who's the bubbles. But anyway, yeah, I think Refresh, Refresh GG, but I think this is just GG anyway. They don't even need it. Like, they can't kill anything. They're gonna get a token now on Puppet. That's gonna be Midrax. Like, what are they gonna do? Buybacks were used on both Forsaken Archer and Kraken just to save the base. Because the bot lane's been pushing in so much and been left unattended, it took a tier 4 tower. Really? I don't know. No, Rhapsody did not ult the illusion. That was the real Forsaken Archer that was trapped inside. But anyway, so Symbol of Rage is picked up by Puppet Master. So he's going to be impossible to kill now. And something I mentioned before, because Symbol of Rage makes you deceptively tanky in that people do not expect you to have 2,500 health. And he's going to have 2,100 health right now. He doesn't have Strength Steam Boots? No. So when he's on Strength Steam Boots again, he'll be closer to 25. But it's like, I love picking up early Symbol on something like a Moon Queen, because people kind of assume that you can die really, really easily if they catch you. And if you have a Symbol, it takes a lot to kill you. And then you can turn it around. So having that item, especially early on, really can surprise your other team and basically allows you to bait yourself. So you can farm in a lane by yourself, get jumped by 2 or 3 heroes, live through that, turn your Symbol on, and then win. I don't think it was the illusion. I don't know, Twitch chat saying it might have been. I could go back and look. I don't really feel like it, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't the illusion. I don't know. I think it looked like that because the Chrono Field makes everything blue. And he's already purple. Well, either way, they lost the fight. And the Token of Master looks like this will be their cue to push this in. Wolf Commander has been taken over by PM, so if you don't know, it does give you, what, plus 30% damage aura? Yep. Which means for Puppet Master, that's a crap ton of damage. He's currently sitting at 333 damage at this point, which means that Wolf Commander is giving him, at this point, probably like plus 80 damage. Like, no joke, it's probably like plus 80 damage right now. Yeah, that's right about what it is. It's plus 80 damage. That's a Savage, or the Rift Shark. It's like that's the Savage mace. It's equivalent of what that is. Anyway, Rupsing going off here, so we'll see exactly what it is. Plus 30 damage. I'm crazy. Anyway, looks like in the background, Rhapsody ultimately getting it off, and we'll be able to kill the Salim there, as well as the Kraken. There goes Let Us Hope on the Forsaken Archer. Looks like Balfour going to come back in here, and just gets wrecked. Puts the hell into it. Doesn't really do much as the Puppeteer's Calls come through, and CC vote gets dropped. Wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be it. And Catman champions. Gonna take out Twisted Fusion here in the losers bracket round 2. And I mean, that's gotta be really, really bad news for Twisted Fusion, and something that they have to look at and be really concerned about. Again, I keep saying it because it's worth saying. This is a team that was in Diamond last cycle, and if they had played this match in the losers bracket round 1, they would be going to Silver. I don't know if we've ever seen a team go from Diamond to Gold to Silver in consecutive cycles. In fact, I'm guaranteeing it has not happened in HoN Tour Season 3. It might have happened in previous seasons because there were 16 teams. But that's bad. And the skinny is that Time to Die and Archtiger were kicked/left Twisted Fusion because of internal differences. It was not that they found better players. It was not that they wanted to leave so much as they were removed from the team, apparently. And I think you got to look at yourself on Twisted Fusion and think, how badly did we screw up if we got to Diamond with these guys And with our new roster, we are barely hanging on in gold. We're losing to a team that is captained by one of our former players in Catman Champions. And Catman Champions in previous cycles was a solid team, but not a particularly great one. They were a mid-division team, and they're looking a lot better early on. They did get a forfeit win in the first round, and then they lost to, I believe, Solar Club. Not Solar Club in the second round. Wapdash. So that's fair. Wapdash is real good. So not hugely surprising that they lose to Wapdash, but I don't know, man. I think if you're Twisted Fusion, you have to be really, really concerned about how this series went, how your team's performing right now, because they didn't look good, man. They didn't look coordinated. It didn't look like they really knew what they were doing. And like I said earlier, their draft is kind of sketchy with the Jungle Balfagor. It didn't work the way they wanted it to. The Forsaken Archer, I think, didn't do very much. 325 GPM in the end. Didn't do what they wanted it to do. And Let Us Hope, a.k.a. Ibrahim, actually we've seen some pretty good games from him, so I don't think it's necessarily the play even from him, but I don't know. I'm not optimistic about Twisted Fusion's future if they're going to look like this against a team like Catman Champions, which again has looked better since the additions of Time to Die and Marcus Moy, but still, I think, perhaps a mid-division gold team, and this has now put Twisted Fusion from the back end of Diamond to the back end of Gold, and if Gold Division continues to improve, which it looks like it's doing, I mean, we have Reason Gaming in Gold Division in Cycle 5, for God's sake. If Gold Division continues to improve, Twisted Fusion might be looking at themselves as a Silver Division team. And that's not something that you would have expected a couple of cycles ago. But in the meantime, this will wrap up this series as Catman Champions do take it 2-1. So congratulations to them. They'll be moving on. Twisted Fusion going to get knocked out here, as they really did have a poor showing in Cycle 4 and look to... Maybe they turn that around a little bit in Cycle 5, but they will stay in Gold Division, so good for them. And that'll do it for this series.